Alright, abusiyama memfa enase sonko every Mega TV. Yaso ye emfa mra obibia nyankopon enhira papa. Ene de bia mo supporter mo de emai ewo yem platform we. Eso na Supreme Court nsense media yakase yi jaka sebi ensem no yenhu ne puma sibre. Nti ebekoso amamu updates upon updates. Because ene NPP form ti hoyi omwankasa nim se president yewra speaker Alban Smaina Gbabin oyusu ya ode declare that vacant seat no edamutrudo because in 2020 that was Brana Fomena constituency yewra Oreya Yefreno, the second deputy speaker then, Andrews Esiama, free party nim, Aokoye, the independent candidate. Nina Nejan to Quasemso, na Ejina wentri so. What you say? Mentime Wasibi, Ane Koso, and a mass and nebaye. But Andrews Esiama, Yemeni no corridor. Uriah is very selfish and Memaka a very greedy person. Think and he will never come back to NPP again because of how they treated him. But and they acquire say politics now in the constituency no sebi muhunyano inti for that matter no or pray the obinya. And a dear woman yani say Ghana old politicians na mwenye sika wino and also mwenye sika no and they still fight for it. Yenkoti listo we kwa jopoku ene kwa bina bobiansa enkomodidi bi akoso ewo mwakachi ne koba eni seni bibeto aso nina efa parliament eni Supreme Court hu nsensemi ene obi didi matem ewo me comment section wo kase stupid guy, why are you always attacking MPP? Me hwe na mesre dini manhwe but me koba me man reply na bibieti mi akoso wano nyankopon hyirawo se de bia no wa subscribe to yen channel na wa like dwumadi na wa share na afoforo nyi bia hwe yenkoti ensem no emfa brande koba ebetimi edinseni bi atwaso mebo obebo modina so obetwenye na yakoti ensem wi aba yakopon enyo kese
baby o ende Kwame Akufu we no baby o ende Kwame Akufu ne very elaborate commentary no ehona mesha se free na Kwame sabi asembia ba empanifo se okoto se unipa bi ku a busa se na anu no eye den otiase efiada no na makwabu but me yese ma memfa eye obi mre studio ha me kura na menim se mo so na wabu aketem enti me bedru ha no na chese na no tu da ko na ti adwam ti kwara me ti ha na asam ne baaye asam ne baaye no I remember say ade parliament eye court na yen say the statement that was put across by Mr. Speaker no say sebi impreduasa nanka e was say e court na court determine ansa no waka and say e dien the remote cause to the immediate cause no?
Our stay of execution is directed by a court to stop some form of enforcement action. A stay of execution can apply in many circumstances, like stopping the sale of property in bankruptcy or the execution of a death penalty. A delay in carrying out a court order So, for example, the prisoner was granted a stay of execution by the Supreme Court. That's a typical example.
Okay, saying court order, maybe.
Court order, yeah.
Oh, say me kasi nipa ejimia. Na bijina nyo maybe so because sometimes kwabra we say literature is all. You can be beyond say literature for no. Literature is all because if we are saying to get understanding no, and to get deeper understanding no, it's about how you know your literature. The underlined word is court the order. But your parliament, is it a court? Is parliament a court? Is speaker a judge? So when you say as someone afenyo marking ese otiamia no assembly se ohina no enuntina yewo magistrate court yewo high court yewo circuit court yewo appeals court and yewo supreme court kwabrenye case bia na ma so ana de akwakodru supreme court. The only reason why we have a supreme court is for just interpretation of laws. That is the only reason why. Etino sabio and kafenyo marking the assembly say supreme court mu interpreting law we are e can me list o mini hu asemka.
We trade with.
But say court ma order, circuit court ma order, appeals court ma order, court to be a ma order, not even a magistrate court.
Then you decide, sir.
Now we want ma so asemwa a ruling of the house parliament a onu din inkui no ma asem so say me kwa stay of execution e was supreme court. Hey, na judge for our political judges. Ya obi ani momunchi kwabra he tokunu ne papa no ye best a headmaster wo your friend is saying kofodua setek ushia mami tokunu a kobusa boni ani papa ye ya yi na die kwabra obi ani mobi e wo Ghana ha. You cannot hide your political identity from anybody. Now obi a wono kwabna watimi akwakọ gina on the ticket of NPP say yanto abama no o can list we hu o can list of 5 yi san conform person mo plunge this nation to chaos yi o kan hu and kwabna wotiwo na wotimi hwe say how does a human being become this useless? All because of politics. Politics in tea and Kufodo ama omo ya ajaje for ya kwabran konsen komudi nimde ni nyansa eya adwuma sebi se Kufodo dey pay school fees I don't know, but into a pay school fees say brabe jimi say it has me to the core because kwabran you may think say just on a lighter note where the parliament asem kwabran.
Why should it be on a lighter note?
No, some people are thinking say it's on a lighter note. This thing can plunge this whole nation into chaos.
No. But Gabi Kacho say Ochra Parliament be chaotic no want it.
He should go ahead. They have the men. Sometimes people think they have monopoly over Nkwasiasem. They have monopoly over Jimmy Kwabra. It brings me to the topic that I have always discussed, especially on this platform. Me, I am very convinced. Obi bia wo ya MPP ni no wo so wo lawyer no uhuna onim law onim judge o ma bon papa wait denezri akwala akura nim ade a wo kan ye o pa kofa black law dictionary na kan is the same this stay of execution, it is one in the world. There is none. Where ade a wo ma ye we kwabna. You know that platform on which I am, where Georgette put me. When I put the whole discussion on, look, we have become a public division. Hey, how did you earn the title of saying you are the beacon of
but I
democracy
I
in
seriously
Africa?
Believe Tokonu and then crowd for no I feel in my spirit say Oma say Oma damage or mine.
I yes, Oma damage or mama. Look, and they are Supreme Court town. I te say Sebi Krama Beso 19.
Because you see, when you give out a ruling,
it has become very
and there is
useless.
so much agitation, there is so much confusion, there is no clarity, then there is a problem.
But even your last, there is no clarity. Their ruling has made me mamia or ti jomwa onko sukuda. No say enkofo enim nyansa. Because only did him say ye Friday be separation of powers. Say now say executive odi nim kui. On na eka sa asem we yo. O say na say muna musu obi adi nim kui. Na den na me onim oledi ade okan o say me teacher ni. Ena nkola eba mi school. Ena nkola ni bi afei omo say ansa no mbeba mi school no. Omo no say kura no. Baby ana omo gina ansa na for example what the Obako school say onko school or ebia school be na emu guess one fe pa ye mo frɛ true or come mo frɛ true kwabra and o say answer no be come mo frɛ true no obefa Cambridge na Cambridge ho no obefa ansa na waba and as school name ra che say untimi nko Cambridge wabra wo come mo frɛ true enti headmaster say any so be come of Cambridge there ko Cambridge name school we mu de won sini mu speaker need to me obi antimi nyi free nsem even something adia something ladi aye ni asem a wo kan kwabia so kan the articles no separately unya the import of it papa they say what kind of boom so kan boom a ube hu say article 90 no any article 97 no kwabra ubahu se ni mienu no ekaboma on 97 FGH no so kai mo ubahu se ebema we set understand e bi say uba na say we independent candidate se wo koye wa adwen se wo ko te se de esiama ko se okwa ne wenu ma koye business no senka enye se bia ya fa ne se conventionally no on kan se wokọ NPP na emom wo se woni omu na ebekọ na akra na kwamna e wo senka immediately o ye senka woni NPP for be business na no enka e wo senka e pam no straight ni e kwaye by election but speaker no he was even magnanimous say no he has won an election. He only has elected to do business, which is association. I can choose not to do anything with you, but come and sit here. But I'm here in the studio. I can choose to be doing everything with Haruna. It's just by association. It's by the fact that I say, oh, Kabra, minu bebo game. It's just by association.
Yeah.
It's not by my decision to now recuse myself from a certain position. Say me independent. I'm still an independent candidate. And you can say NDC for 137, MPP for 137. Now the independent no. I can MPP for the because also no a business. Is that not the case? And no crab. It meant a lot to some of us until we got some explanations to me say just by association. Now the person has gone ahead to file for your friend is saying another contest or filing on the ticket of the NPP. And I'm running say so we are on a party's ticket and as an independent candidate. Now we elected say we be on another ticket. One time say MPP and NDC was say on another ticket. Both parties' constitution tell for feature of membership. You instantaneously lose your membership. Immediately now, by filing now, you have lost your membership into your neck. Owura akwa a oye NDC ni so won say ba NDC a obesa akwa could lie unless the NDC decides to give him a waiver, which of course it is subject to the discretion of the authorities of the party. They said yeah na Bawumia akwa only party card, but na ohini to e decide say obema ni waiver no it may qualify to become a running mate, Pepe. And a party decision, discretionary. No, once a party, na party na sponsor, Eduako Parliament. Matisse Ebinum say, my Kokwe ruling was wrong. You see, the bad faith on the part of Nkofua Omoko Court, and they say, fine, my Kokwe ruling was wrong. And now, afenyo marking, wo sa ya lawyer ni. Wo hwe han, kwabra ye hwe han yo. Etna ho dima. The ruling na eye wrong no. Eye ade a eni kwan se eba so no. Ebeye ye friend is legitimacy. Ebenya legitimacy. Abeye president. All this while you didn't go to court to seek for redress of the subject. Now, Faye, ya the world don't talk, Mobro don't touch wa. As our barber chan Komua. What's a Mobro nebo? And to the America. Ako Supreme Court. Ako file a very stupid application. Now, a very, very useless 5 members of the court on the bench. Almost swat me at Nasemneso. Wabra, they have no jurisdiction. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, no. And if I was ignorant in killing Tokonu, what would they say? Because by their own words, they are trying to mean that ignorance should be an excuse. This is not law.
No, when you are ignorant,
yes.
There
is a legal aphorism that ignorance of the law is no excuse.
So when you are ignorant in causing a crime,
in committing a crime,
yes, but
it ought not to be an excuse. That is what they have said. But by their doing, everyone is ignorant of the law, because this is no law. It's a new law in the world. It has never happened anywhere in the world. They should show me one authority on which they have stood. One legal authority. Not even in the court of Jimmy. Have you seen this? There's no light.
Their judgment can be useless. Which, for me, the judgment doesn't make sense.
Yes.
And every rational human being knows that it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
But they can be useless because they are useful to a family, to a society.
They are useless because, look, wait. But before you continue, they are very useless because it is not a family court.
No,
this country.
What I mean, yes. Say, but the judgment doesn't make sense to any rational human being.
Yes.
That is so it's not about their person. It's about their judgment.
Yeah. It's everything to do with their persons.
No.
The Supreme Court is not you see?
No.
The Supreme Court is not operational unless of course.
Yes.
There are human beings.
There are human beings
who have taken power to effect the usefulness of the Supreme Court.
Even in the digital world, always there will be human beings to execute.
Yes, even when robots are working,
yes,
there are human beings that regulate them. But when a human being decides to sidestep the laws that governs that office,
so that is where
it makes that human being very useless.
That is where the person judgment, the person's opinions become very useless.
It's not just the opinion. Nipana said that, but
they're saying the judgment.
Look, Kwabena, it's not
the
just
judgment.
It's not just the judgment. Kwabena, look, you are bantering something that I will not change my mind.
No.
Nipana said that, but damn.
Hold on.
I said that. Hold on. Why you nipa boni? Why you man boyani? What said that?
Man can't just say we'll change your argument. No. No, but
your point is not giving me anything oxygen on the part.
No, I shouldn't give you oxygen.
Said that. What said that? The only time anybody can file a stay of execution is when the court has given an order.
So as you rightly said right now, Ebia, now or you're ignorant.
And what court says Supreme Court? That makes them more useless. We are ignorant. What court says Supreme Court? Do you know that? I'm not taking it easy. Look, let me tell you.
Hold on.
Do you know that their judgments affect a lot of lives and properties?
But honor the no call.
And honor the no call. It will be the one who are your puppeta. Now what Jimmy? So
let's come back.
But you can't think.
So let's come back. So let's come back to the issue. The issue is that the person has given us a judgment. Judgment in mind. One is political. One, that judgment is useless. To a rational human being, it doesn't make sense.
And who does things that do not make sense? It's only a useless man, a useless woman who does things that do not make sense.
But at least
making sense. Useless.
But at least you can have.
It's like saying someone is being foolish, but only Pakron you're foolish. You're foolish, but who now when you're foolish? How? It is only foolish men that behave foolishly.
But at least one day the foolish man can be wise.
Yeah, I don't mean wise. So look. It is not always that everyone gets it right. Oh, it's not that I'm always right. Every human being at every stage. Bible say by their fruit we shall know them. The fruit is what I'm describing. Said diaboni so ababonia. And was okay said diani ye diafo, ye diaboni, ye dia Jimmy, ye boa dia. Said pano adia it doesn't make sense. I catch and say, you don't make sense and you are useless.
Okay, so which means now we are back to the same. You have your no, you have your point. And your point is valid to you.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that
it's not to me alone. That is wisdom. So now say stay of execution. And you only a court order and you timi stay. Now court now say speaker I ruling. And until who could stay you are not being constitutional, you are just being very dictatorial, which is not grounded anywhere in the laws of this country.
Okay.
Or in the world.
So
they should show me one example of the world.
So at the end of the
day, someone was able to stay an order which is not from court. Tell me what traditional council. Missy me two or hinibi. Now, obi dramika court. Was me kwa this stay of execution. When traditional council no one court. Is a traditional council a court? You only have to go through the process to get your friend is saying the traditional authority the ruling quashed and not state. We are afraid now we take you steps. Now I legitimate court suit. Wait, akwala we dey next unique crap be who say nyansa we. And you see, look, Kwabena, when Madia and what we are saying, I was here taking notice. Say Obi elected to be a judge. The person plays the Lord or God in our lives. His or her decision, Kwabena, it can affect lives and properties. To the extent, say, Adia Omaya Nine, Kwabena, a betimia mauma way abo. Just because of this useless decision. By the very 5 useless people. They intentionally did that. Okay, Kwabena, and I'm excited. Marriage is, me say what the marital divorce court wa. Ombediana. I don't have any marking way. Lawyer ni awa bon say. Etimi file stay of execution. Not stay of execution, It's not a court order they are coming to stay. Then you admit it. Then you go further to how? Why does this happen?
Somebody just sent me a very interesting message about this Parliament Supreme Court matter. Or say, Bobby, if we are clear in our minds that you cannot, or the court cannot, put out stay of execution without any order, how did the 5 judges all come to a conclusion without one from the 5?
Very, very interesting
and I also who say the
observation.
Before you continue, I'll just end by submitting only one case. We have statutes. We are governed by our own statutes. And in your boy's decision with his panel of 7
unanimous
to decide not to allow for accountability from a public officer, J. Mensah has built this impunity with which she is now misbehaving and throwing her weight all about. When she is answerable to us, even the justices themselves who sat on the case were very answerable to the people of this country. Could they have said anything otherwise if what time associate also call retirement? Other no more call retirement on the bench, no other no man now. Why did they not become the laws on their own? When you allow yourself to be governed by the Constitution, you will just be very clear in your mind that everyone is answerable to the people, because at the Article 1 of the Constitution tells who the sovereign powers of this country resides with. And you know we are law, your friends say law luminaria. And what's that idea ubusa won say sebi previasa. Adia we ya wama J. Mensah anya answerable to the people of this country, no. Wo ene say we are mine bonia as a judge. Are you not answerable to the people of this country?
Anyway.
Then lastly, Kwabra Busa who say, after all is said and done, is it not right? That is what good governance advocacy is now doing. To find a private member bill in Parliament for a passage and to just answer the question of who judges the judge.
Yeah.
So as to question why judges misbehave and do things untoward deliberately. The act is deliberate because they think, sir, they are not answerable to the people.
Okay.
But if equality of the law is anything to go by, we are judge. You should know, sir, you are also answerable and accountable to the people of your deeds.
Yeah. All right, so that's
this behavior is as a result of the very reason. Say, private member bill.
I think we have a procedure of hauling them before
what
a different
privileges committee.
The Judicial Council. They have
General Legal Council. General Legal Council is headed by the same person who is causing nuisance to the public.
Justice, yes.
Nuisance.
You just go to her to report.
So how can a judge be a judge in a be law Latin? I'm saying Nemos Judas in Cossesua. How can you be a judge in your own court?
It's not.
So the persons that were no wire boneno, she said, "Well, no, what me and panel judges say, Omunko fan kolan konkotum." Na say ni panel wire bonne, Chief Justice wire bonne. Was the Chief Justice now konkotum General Legal Council so? No send you on one asem.
But I think we need to check whether
who judges the judge is the only remedy.
I think we need to check whether we have a precedence where the Chief Justice has been hauled before the general.
$5 million.
But do you have any idea as to how the constitute panel?
And I feel no, I can't say very recusing. When recusing one or the coffee.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Bonnie,
so president.
Okay,
so
So to the person and now or catch mega say me a stupid guy. I think news nana make us say MPP doesn't belongs to Ghana no. Obi ma me comment section. I think say Endra, you can go and check it up and answer Endra chi. Obi binya kukudra na wetimi edi matem because of say ye can't correct actually Ghana for any MPP manyoku no. You know the person feel like mega we may say manyoku no. Why am I always attacking MPP is because Ghana is the resources in our shop. It is a abofra nija enina omawo no fufuro. Sa abofra no when dia full responsibility no parents no ena wo se omo bebe ana se so bobi wo ha akwada no onyini na wanya akwada papa sumwo bi wo ha ana se blames bi wo no ma e wo se parents no ena omo de momo for good parenting or bad parenting. Enti sa pepepe ena Ghana for ya to ya ba dia ma MPP manyuku no e dia rain na show mumu ya gather resources yento abama menana otumfuo na piao yento abama menana doma hino yento abama togo afeteo menana yento abama ochehene sebi yento abama ohini bia okurum ha yento abama asofu bia okurum ha namum ato aba edi amakufado and Dr. Muhammadu Bomia so we made your mind we so for that matter no, we have given all our hope and our resources as a country to them. Enti se obana se ye expect bibia firi honom na wo sukra na nye na expect you said it in your manifestos, you said it and you have promised Ghanaians na ye hwe animu anemba what would I say ade na was a meka as a citizen, not a spectator. And depana na wakasa no, you two are a very stupid guy or stupid woman. Ibiana we are man no. But sometimes more kasa, some of you are more me when you're comfortable with me and always insulting no. You better learn, you know, you better learn how to tolerate people and also how to, you know, get out of people if you are not in one can say if you are not having one agreement and I say if you are not in one lie it doesn't mean if you don't understand my point, it doesn't mean say you should come out and insult me on my platform. You people should learn how to talk and learn how to tolerate each other. Make sure my dream so you can also what put your your comment at the comment section, just like what I'm saying. Yeah, can't say na yendi obi atemo akufado ni yendi na tem yendi bomi atem yendi MPP ni bi atem. But what I'm saying is we're demanding for accountability. We're demanding for what our policies, the promises you people you made. It is a banner yebeka we are na odi etutam ma. It is stupidity and nonsense. What you say? It is better you get out from my platform. You just say anyone say because if you are not comfortable, why would you come here? You can't cry. You to about for since 2017. Now Ghana and then yet what do you want me to say? What do you expect me? What do you expect me to do? And now Akufo-Addo can say be a citizen, not a spectator. No. So when you are now cancer now me wrong. And I say now when you kurum ha. Akufo-Addo can say be a citizen, but not a spectator. Now when you kurum ha. So I am being a citizen, and I say I'm a citizen. So I have to what? I have to say anything that is not going on well. Akwa mum buofu nti amam brofu ni sisi so mum fanche me. Me buofu so and I have to end the program. Yankopon shira me mame end no because sometimes ayana enkofu bu on mo mayo mo ho gigefo se bibusifo madofo a mohwɛ me Nyankopɔn nhyira mo momfa nkyɛ me wate mega yɛsa na metie ba madi kan aka sɛ woba me platform yi so na wobɛka ne ɛyɛ oda me nso mɛtena ha no na ma reply in the same way because me menya NPP ni menya NDC ni ɔman ne dai akoma so we want this country to develop. That is our core mandate, that is our aim. Ye no sɛ ɔman wi bi di yie na timamufo nso yɛ di yie nti wotena baabi na wodi matem na aka nkwasi asɛm asɛbi yɛnso yɛbɛba anom ne abɛply and ɛnyɛ saa na metie but sometimes nsɛm bi wɔ no ma ɛbufu nsɛm bi wɔ no ma wotia na ɛyɛ wahin sɛbi wotia na ɛɛtan so you need to react. Iti mesrɛ mo momfa nkyɛ me maame no me papa no ma mohwɛ me a mopɛ mega asɛm mesrɛ mo momfa nkyɛ me but nipa na ɔka saa no the person should bow down his or her head in shame man hwɛ din na ɛyɛ ya because ɔman ne nkɔ yi yɛka ho asɛm mekasɛ kura te aburokyire na sɛ bi wokeka nkwasi asɛm sɛ saa na ɔmo system ne ti a nka wokɔɔ no nka waba anaasɛ nka Ghana system ya nka wɔndwane nkɔtena aburokyire hɔ. So you people should shut up. Yɛka yansasɛm asɛ bi tie na gya arrogant no gya pride no emboa ebi ne kufado na NPP fo ayɛ da ɔmo alande Ghana in the deepest hole no ai ne ntimi mpie ene 770 billion dollars Ghana cedis mfanche me ena ɛyɛ bosiankofo mabo they took it from 220 billion from Mahama ene hwɛ sebi ene tie niema prices a it varies and the differences the difference is too huge. This tells you how reckless this government is, how clueless this government is. This tells you say the government will buy our handle niema and man niema nkoyi. Enti ye Kenya se macho na se bi feel say you're too pride. Don't come out and watch me because I'm going to I will not attack them, but always say the truth. They are mechanical. Yankopon shiro bibia me ma me chi bafo wo United States ma me Yankopon shira ma me we bi wo UK Yankopon shira me ma me ani obi bia wo hwe me get TV no I salute you. Bye bye makraw.